And our word for today on this memorial of St. Jerome, priest and doctor of the church, on this Monday, September the 30th, our word for today is receives. Receives our word for today. Our readings give us a clear indication of how we are to receive God's blessings and, quite frankly, even his challenges. We see this in the book of Job today, chapter 1. And we learn some things about the spiritual life through the reading of the book of Job that we really see in a unique way, and we see it right at the beginning of today's reading. One day, when the angels of God came to present themselves before the Lord, Satan also came along with them. And the Lord said to Satan, "Whence do you come?" Then Satan answered the Lord and said, "From roaming the earth and patrolling it." And the Lord said to Satan, "Have you noticed my servant Job, and that there is no one on earth like him, blameless and upright, fearing God and avoiding evil?" But Satan answered the Lord and said, "It is it for nothing that Job is God-fearing? Have you not surrounded he and his family and all that he has with your protection? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his livestock are spread over the whole land. But now put forth your hand and touch anything that he has, and surely he'll blaspheme you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "Behold, all that he has is in your power, only do not lay a hand upon his person." Boy, we see a New Testament reference to this as well, that the accuser of the brothers, the one that accuses the brothers before the throne of our Father day and night, he is the accuser of the brethren. Who is this? It's Satan, who accuses each of us. Each of us are accused, not only before the throne of our Father, but in particular to each of us. He accuses us, stands before us, accusing us constantly. But again, we are reminded that our angel stands before the throne of God, interceding on our behalf, as do all the saints and the angels, as does Jesus, our intercessor, and Mary as well. And so he, being the accuser, is overpowered again by the scripture that tells us, we're told in the scripture, that he who lives in us is stronger than he who is in the world. The one who intercedes on our behalf is stronger than the accuser who stands and accuses us. But let us be aware of this, brothers and sisters. What happens here is God gives Satan right to do anything to Job that he pleases, but not to touch his own body. So we see in the reading, he loses all of his material good. He loses everything, all of his livestock, everything that he owns. And in fact, he loses all of his children as well. And after all of this destruction, all happening in one day's time, as one person after the next comes and reports the devastation that has occurred, Job says this after finding all of that out. Then Job began to tear his cloak and cut off his hair. He cast himself prostrate upon the ground and said, "Naked I came into this world from my mother's womb, and naked shall I go back again. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." And in all of this, Job did not sin, nor did he say anything disrespectful of God. Brothers and sisters, that is the test. Yes, it's amplified in this story of Job, but it's the test for all of us. Boy, it's not that difficult to respond in glorious praise when everything is going right, when we receive all these things that we count as blessings in our lives. But as we'll see as the book of Job is unfolded in front of us, the true blessing that Job receives is the testing that he undergoes and the fact that he remains faithful to God. And in that faithfulness, he receives a greater blessing than he ever had to start with. So it is with us. It is all in how we receive these things from the Lord. Then we see in the gospel reading today, the Gospel of Luke, chapter 9, the apostles are talking about who's the greatest, and Jesus calls a child over, and he says, "Whoever receives this child in my name receives me, and whoever receives me receives the one who sent me." Let us be in service of one another. Let us receive every good gift coming down from heaven above, not calculating it by the way that we think, but knowing that God has meant it for our good. Receives our word for today.